What's going on, guys? It's Craig with Take 360, and today we're talking about fixing a pool with blisters that has been painted with epoxy paint. Alright guys, so first and foremost, thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. And so here we are right now. I am going through the swimming pool and I am marking all the bad spots. As you see, there are several bad spots in the pool, but it's basically going to get to the point where I'm basically only going to work on the worst ones. Per the people, that's their request. It's like, let's not break them all out. Let's not break all the bad spots out. Let's only focus on the ones that are the worst. So that's what I did. Marked them anyway so they can see, and that's pretty much it. So as you see right here, these are all blisters in the bottom of the pool. Now I picked the worst ones and I started breaking them out, and like this one still had some water under it. I was letting it dry out real good. I will continue to chip this one out a little bit further. These are two other ones. As you see, they both have water in them. So basically the first thing I'm going to want to do, or what you're going to want to do as well, is if your pool is already painted with epoxy paint. Now you're going to want to get a grinder like this with a sanding pad on it, and you're going to want to just sand the whole pool down, sand the entire thing. Now I'm not taking it all the way down to the plaster. I'm not taking it all the way down. Now there are some spots that I did take down to the plaster because I seen there were going to be problems in the long run, or they were just to kind of get rid of some imperfections from the last time it was painted. So we're going to go through and sand the entire pool. Now once you get to these bad spots, what you're going to want to do, as you see here, is I'm going around the edge of it, and I'm going about 6 or 8 inches out around the edge of the spot that I broke out. Now what that's doing is that's going to allow you, when you go to backfill it, for the stuff to adhere to the actual plaster itself and not try to stick to the existing epoxy paint. So as I'm doing right here, I'm going to go ahead and continue sanding. You want to get every inch of it if you can. The more the better. It allows the new coat of epoxy paint to adhere to the old coat. Alright guys, so now since I've got everything sanded, I pretty much just scuffed the surface up. I didn't really get too far down. I didn't want to go down to the plaster. Some spots I did just because I seen those were going to be problems in the long run. So I went ahead and just took it to the plaster, so I can go ahead and just kind of fix that. But once you get all that done, then it's going to be time to fix your holes or your blisters that you've broken out. So this one I've already broke out. Once you get it broken out, basically what I like to do is I just like to hit it with a hammer, and whatever keeps popping up easily and freely, that's going to be bad. It means it's not stuck to the concrete. So this spot right here, I've already broke out everything that wasn't stuck to the concrete, and this is what I'm left with. Now, once you get to that point, you vacuum it out. And then you want to take your grinder with a thin blade, and you want to go in, and I call it dovetailing. Now, I don't know if that's the technical word for it, but basically, all around your edge of your hole, you basically want to go in and cut it at an angle in and down to the concrete. And what that does is that when you backfill it with the patch, what that does is it allows the patch to get down and under the existing, all the existing plaster. And it basically gives more to hold to. Now, some people like bigger spots, I'll go in with a concrete bit, and I'll put like some 1 inch or 2 inch holes all in the concrete, kind of at an angle. And what that does is that also gives more for that patch to grab a hold of. So, being I've got this one pretty much ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and get stuff mixed up and get it poured in, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. Alright, so I've got it all mixed up. This is this particular product I'm using is called Patch It, and you can get it from Leslie's Pool Supply. You can get it in a small container, or you can get it like in a gallon container. Now, I did mix it a little runny, and there is a reason for it. This stuff dries extremely fast. So I make it a little extra wet, so it does dry a little. It takes a little longer to dry. Because if you mix it pretty much kind of almost, put just the recommended water in it, you have probably about 2 minutes, maybe 3 tops, to get that stuff. Once you add water to it, you mix it up, and once you stop mixing it, you have about 2 to 3 minutes to get it from point A to point B before it hardens up or starts hardening up, and then it gets to where it's unusable and it's difficult to use. So I mix it a little wet, so it makes it easier to, like you see here, trying to float this out a little bit, to kind of try to push it down in all the little cracks and crevices in this hole. before it starts drying out. Now at this point, when I got done with this, once I finished it, I worked on it about a couple minutes here, just make sure it's good and smooth and it's down in all the little cracks and crevices in there, and within about 10 minutes total, it was pretty much totally dry. So like I said, this stuff dries pretty quick. That's why I mix it as wet as I do. Alright, so here's all the spots here that I've already got all filled in. You see the spot on the wall, all the spots on the floor. I've got them all back filled in. They're all smoothed out and they're pretty much ready to start drying. And that's basically what I've got. You basically just put a fan on it if you want. Being that this is an indoor pool, I did want to use a lot of fans to keep air moving around and circulating. Outdoor pools is not so much. That stuff dries pretty quick. It airs out well. This stuff in an indoor pool does not dry out fast or dry up fast, and it takes a little bit longer for everything just because it is indoors. So I keep fans moving. But as you see right here, everything's ready to go pretty much. I got all your primer spots, or everything. Everything's patched and primered. I know I completely missed that step on this video just because my camera wasn't acting right that day. So basically, as the next day after I got done with everything priming, like I said, when you primer it, you want to let it sit for at least about 10 hours for the primer to dry and set hard. And then you want to go ahead and start taping everything off. Like you want to tape all your tiles off, anything like around the edges that you do not want this paint on, because once you get it on there and it dries, it will not come off. It is a pain in the butt to get it off. Like all your little jets and stuff in the pool, you want to make sure you cover those up well, because you do not want to get that stuff in the threads of those jets if you unscrew them and take them out. Because once you get those in those threads, you're not going to be able to get it, for it to go back in. So here what I'm doing is, this is called TSP, trisodium phosphate. Now what this is basically it's a real strong aggressive degreaser, and this is basically, since I've got everything in prime, I got everything sanded, I'm ready to go, I'm degreasing the pool down. This stuff is good to use for this reason. Besides acid washing, so you don't have to do that. Now you can if you choose, but if you're going to do it, you want to do the TSP wash, acid wash, then TSP wash again. So once you get all that, here's all the paint. This is going to be the color I use. This is the 2-part epoxy activator, I guess you can call it. It's basically, so you got the paint and then you got the activator. You got to mix it all together. And then you want to take it, and basically what you want to do is, however many quarts you use is how many the little smaller jars of the activator you want to use, which usually comes with it. Then you're going to want to mix this stuff up very well. This stuff is real thick. You want to get a good paddle bit or something on the end of it to mix it up well. I think they say it's good to mix it up for about 10 minutes and let it sit for 45 minutes before you start using it. I usually mix it for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll let it sit for about 15-20 minutes. So as we go here, that's where you start painting everything. You want to go in pretty much a good little even strides. I always like starting with the walls. It makes things a lot easier. Start painting around the walls and then work your way down, so you're not basically painting the floor then having to go back and step over your paint to go in, and paint the walls again. Alright guys, so I have pretty much drained the pool. I have broke out some bad spots on the bottom. I have backfilled them. I have primered them. We have sanded the pool. We have washed the pool. We've done all this stuff, and I've already got my first coat of paint on the pool. I painted yesterday, and so I let it sit overnight, and then I'm coming back in pretty much the following morning. I'm going to go ahead and put another coat on the pool, so it's a thicker layer of epoxy paint. It's thicker, it'll be harder. It'll be harder to chip and harder to flake off. So here's the thing though, when you put a coat of epoxy paint on a pool, you have a very small window of time that you have in order to put the second coat on. You can't just put a coat of paint on and, you know what, we'll let it sit in the sun for a few days and then we'll come back and put another coat on. No, it doesn't work like that, because if you do that, then you're going to have to go over the whole pool again. You have to re-sand the whole pool and basically scuff up the whole top layer of the pool, because basically once it hardens, basically the second layer will not adhere to it very well. So you have pretty much a 24-hour window, to be on the safe side, a 24-hour window, basically from once you put the paint on the bottom until when you paint it again. Now, you also do not want to, when you put your first coat on, you don't want to just sit there and just glob it and just hammer it on there and just have a bunch of just real thick first layer on it. You really don't want that, because what will end up happening is it can blister it just basically, if it's too thick, like it gives off fumes and stuff like that when it's drying. And if it's too thick and it can't air out properly, then you can get blistering or it'll crack, basically. And I've had issues with that in the past where people have painted their pools and it's cracked, or and they don't, oh, is my pool cracked? No, it's just the epoxy paint that you put on that has cracked. So I try to put like a thin layer on first, just basic, just roll it on there, and then within 24-hour window, or in that 24-hour window, come back and then you can put a second coat on. Now, you can put a little bit thicker on the second coat, but you still don't really want to go too crazy with it, because you don't want to have issues blistering of the epoxy paint. Not blistering of the pool, but blistering of the paint. So yeah, you'll go in, you'll put your second coat on just like you did the first, just roll it, just like I did. I've already got my paint mixed up, ready to go. I mixed up about 4 gallons here, so it's basically, which I like doing that, because I'll start out pretty much on the walls. I'll do kind of decent light coat, nothing too crazy. But on the floor, like where I've done repairs and stuff like that, I will put it a little bit heavier. Not too heavy, not thick, where it's just like a big puddle there. You don't want to do that. But like the spots that I have patched, I will make it a little bit thicker there, so it will be a little bit thicker layer of epoxy, so it'll help hold that in place. So let's get started. Let's get the second coat going. From wet or dry, which is no big deal. You just go back over with a roller, smooth your spots out, and you're fine. You just keep on painting and put another solid even coat on the whole pool. And then once you're done with all that, you'll let the paint dry for another good 10-12 hours at least minimum before walking in it. Then you can go in and start peeling all your tapes off. You can get all that good stuff pulled out, and then wait a couple days, and then you want to at least wait probably a good 5 days. I think they recommend longer, but I would give it at least 5 days for this stuff to completely dry. The epoxy paint does take a while to dry, even though it is hard to the surface, dry on the surface. It does take a long time to completely air out and dry. So I can't stress that. Do not paint it like on Monday. Let it dry overnight, and then you come out Tuesday afternoon and it's all dried up, and you start filling it up. Don't do that, because you can have problems with it where basically the paint does not cure out completely, and then you'll end up having blisters again in the paint and other issues, and it's just going to be a lot of time and money. And this stuff is not easy to sand out and to go back and make a repair on it. It is hard. That stuff dries up hard. It is hard to go back and sand back down to the plaster if you have to make a repair. So that's why I try to say, do everything, take your time, don't rush it, and just do it right. Alright guys, so there's your video of the pool on how to make a repair on the blisters. Now, I know a lot of it was kind of vague. It was kind of just skimming over a lot of the probably detailed stuff, but the point of this video is because I haven't seen a whole lot of people make videos about this on YouTube, or I haven't been able to find them, let's put it that way. So I wanted to create this video for you guys, even though this isn't a step-by-step process on how to make these repairs. At least it gets you in the right direction. It gives you an idea of what you need to do. It gives you an idea of what to prepare for that you're going to have to do, whether it be tool-wise, chemical-wise, or materials to clean this pool, get the spots broke out and stuff like that, and get them repaired. So like I said, I did my best, just kind of because I was kind of on a time crunch on doing this anyway. So I was trying to get little videos here and there of basically sanding the pool down, breaking these bad spots out, filling them back in, smoothing them out, priming them. Even though I know I missed the primer step, it's the same thing. It's a two-part epoxy primer, which is the primer, and you have the activator you're gonna mix in with it. Same thing. You gotta wait a little bit of time for it to dry, and then, like I said, let it all dry out. Then you want to do all your little final touches. You want to tape everything off. Kind of like that. It's like I said, it's not real in depth with each step, but it gives you a direction. It gives you a path to go. And I mean, honestly, I think if you just watch the video, you'll be able to figure it out on what you got to do. I mean, you'll kind of figure things out, and you'll kind of get, you know, how to do it. So, like I say, guys, if this video helped you out, please comment below. Let me know. If not, sorry, I tried. So, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment below. Don't argue, don't fight. Until next time, guys.